Hey there, future fellow weird-ass black sheep. Welcome to the party pen. Welcome, we clap for you. Welcome. I am the Saint of Awesome, your super stone sage, Saint Nikki Kayla Grit. Yeah, and I'm wonderful. And what we do here in this most amazing place, we read this great ass trilogy called God Said, because he did not say that. I'm going to tell you what he did say. And it was not that. Yeah. So, come this way and get comfy. I have the 6 C's for whatever time it is where you are. I have cannabis, cigarettes, coffee, chairs with your name on it, cat beds, and canine space. So you can bring your animals. We're done. Yes. So we're on part 1 of this trilogy, book 1. We're on the prophet Ezekiel. And this book is so hard to understand. And I don't have my co-host with me this evening. She is super busy. So, as much as I wish I had her to try to help me figure this out, I am going to try to do it by myself. And I don't exactly know, because we've read Exodus and we know God's name. So, in my mind, it seems like this is God the third, getting rid of God the second stuff. Because remember, God the second got rid of everything God the first. Because, that's his dad, and he was trying to get away from his dad. And now we have God the third, which we know by Jesus, because it's God's son. So I think God the third is taking the reins And this might actually be a prophecy for a time that at this time in the Bible they haven't got to. And I don't know what else happens from here. But in my mind, because we know God the Second's name, it seems like he might be talking about God the Third, which might be the fiery being, although I'm not exactly sure. But just based off of knowing God's name and kind of figuring out how this hierarchy works between the gods, or thinking I know how it works by what this book says. And just basing it off of how God the Second took getting kicked out, well, not getting kicked out, removing himself from God the First. And that kind of happens in Exodus. Well, towards the end of Genesis, really, when the flood ends, or before the flood begins, because God the Second tried to get rid of everything God the First had going on. And here in Ezekiel chapter 8, because I only could get through a little bit of it because it started getting confusing. But thinking about it, Neil, do you want to come on my live stream, please? Are you too busy? Are you? Because I think we're getting into God the Third. Jesus taking over heaven, I think, is where we're at right now, what's happening. Or this prophecy of the changing of God. Like God the Second stepping back. Oh, going to bed soon. Shit. Okay. Well, I'm going to go on chapter 8. I'm going to try to figure this out. So, let's see how it goes. Okay. And it came about on the 6th year, on the 5th day of the 6th month. This is April, May, June, July, August, September. September 5th, 00006. Okay. And he was sitting in his house with the elders of Judah. So they had a circle going on. That the hand of the Lord God fell on me there. Then I looked, and behold, a likeness as the appearance of a man. From his loins down, there was an appearance of fire, and from his loins up was the appearance of brightness, like the appearance of glowing metal. And he stretched out the form of a hand and caught me by the lock of my head, and the Spirit lifted me between earth and heaven and brought me the visions of God to Jerusalem, to the entrance of the north gate of the inner court, where the seat of the idol of jealousy, which provokes to jealousy was located. That's God the Second's name. I enjoy my morning coffee with you too, Neil. I need to start saying good morning. And we're going to have fun with this one. Neil, in the future Neil, we're going to have such a good time. No, we're not. No, as a matter of fact, we're not. Because this has me mind blown. And the only thing I can think of is God the Third, which is Jesus. This is Jesus taking over for God the Second. Because remember, God the Second did the same thing to God the First. Got rid of everything God the First. Okay. And behold, the glory of the God of Israel was there, like the appearance which I saw in the plain. Then he said to me, Son of man, raise your eyes now toward the north. And I did. And behold, to the north of the altar gate, was this idol of jealousy at the entrance. Wait a minute. Do you think this could be the idol of the saints that don't exist? How they have idols of saints all over the fucking place. Because they're not supposed to be praying to saints. That's not how that works. So it could be something like that, maybe. And he said to me, Son of man, do you see what they are doing? The great abominations which the house of Israel are committing there, that I look to be far from my sanctuary, but yet you will see still greater abominations. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it would be the same to God the Third. That's absolutely right. Because Jesus had major zeal and nobody was listening to God the Second. So, yeah, maybe Jesus did take over because God the Second, nobody was listening to him and he never wanted to get rid of them. He always wanted to leave some. And God the Third's like, fuck no, we're doing this all over. Be far from my sanctuary, but yet you will see greater. Then he brought me to the entrance of the court, and when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. And he said to me, Son of man, dig through the wall. So I did, and behold, an entrance. And he said to me, Go and see what wicked abominations they are committing here. This is the basement of the Vatican. That is the basement of the Vatican. But also maybe under the Church of Israel, where they might be hiding things that will get other people put in jail for a long time. I don't know that to be true. but I know these terrible ass people, negative Ghost Rider. I know of these terrible ass people, and I know the things that I know about them by research and other things. But that is a very known thing among anons and digital soldiers that these people do terrible ass fucking shit to not so old people. So I entered and looked. Behold, every form of creeping thing and beasts and detestable things with all the idols of the house of Israel were carved on the wall all around. They also have things of God hidden there. If they're not hidden in the Vatican, they're hidden in this basement this way. That's why none of them exist. Or people are like, they don't exist. That's because they were hidden. They were hidden on purpose. Okay. And standing in front of them were 70 elders of the vampires with Zaniah, the son of Shaphan, standing among them, each man with his censer in his hand, and the fragrance of the cloud of incense rising. Yeah, I wonder what smell they were covering. Then he said to me, Son of man, do you see what these motherfuckers are doing in the dark? Each man in the room. Do you see what they're doing in the dark? Each man in the room of his carved images. For they say, the Lord does not see us. The Lord has forsaken the land. He already told you he was going to do that a long time ago. And y'all still act stupid. Get the fuck out of here. I hate these people. And he said to me, Yet you will see still greater abominations. And they call themselves Catholic. And they're committing terrible abominations. Then he brought me to the entrance of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, women were sitting there weeping for Tammuz. And he said to me, Do you see this? You will see greater abominations than these. Then he brought me to the inner court of the Lord's house. And behold, at the entrance to the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were 25 men with their backs to the temple and their faces toward the east. And they were prostrate, so doing the face thing eastward toward the sun. And he said to me, Do you see this? It too light a thing for the house of Judah to commit the abomination which they have committed here, that they have filled the land with violence and provoked me repeatedly. Behold, they are putting the twig by their or to their nose. Therefore, I indeed shall deal wrath. My eyes have no pity, nor shall I spare. And though they cry in my ears with a loud voice, yet I shall not listen to them. Wasn't I just talking about this the other day for the thing, whatever I was talking about on my video? Like I said, God said this shit. This isn't all that he said, but this is part of it. Yeah. So, we are in between chapters. You want to hit this poll with me before you go to bed? Hi everyone, welcome. We're in between chapters. We are on chapter 9. We just finished chapter 8. And we are going on to chapter 9. But first, we're going to hit this bowl and light this cigarette, and then we're going to go to chapter 9. Look, welcome to the ghetto. More fire trucks. Here it comes. It's at the corner. Oh, no, it turned. Okay. Nope, here it comes. There it goes. Welcome to the ghetto. All right. Okay. So, let's go on to chapter 9. Then he cried out in my hearing with a loud voice, saying,
Draw near, O executioners of the city, each with his destroying weapon in his hand. Yeah, shit's gonna happen, yo.
okay. So, and behold, 6 men came from the direction of the upper gate, which faces north, each with his shattering weapon in his hand. And among them was a certain man, clothed in linen, with a writing case at his loins. So he had a mirth. And they went and stood beside the bronze altar. Then the glory of the God of Israel went up from the cherub, on which it had been. So hold on. It's calling God the second. It just literally called him an it. Why would it call God an it? Hold on. Listen, it's verse 3. Then the glory of God, no, the glory of the God of Israel went up from the cherub on which it had been. Oh, so the glory is separate than God. The glory of God was on there. It would be in it. Never mind. To the threshold of the temple, and he called to the man clothed in linen, whose loins was the writing case. What? I thought, wait a minute. And among them was a certain man, clothed in linen, with the writing case at his loins. So his dick isn't a tablet. Got it. And the Lord said to him,
Go through the midst of a city, even through Jewland, and put a mark on the foreheads of the men who sigh and groan over all the abominations which are being committed in its midst. Okay, so the mark is for good guys. Someone like, the mark is for bad guys. No, the mark is for good guys. We're like, oh, why are you hurting these kids? Why are you turning these kids from Haiti into diamonds on a certain island that's ran by a CIA agent? Just saying. Oh, and you do it for this cat called Moloch. He's a giant owl. He's not a cat. He's an owl. And apparently he likes the liquid of small people who have no idea what the fuck is happening to them. Because, how would people that young know anything about that? They'd be so scared before they die. My God. Anyway, uh, listen, and through the midst and put the mark on the forehead of the people who are like, the fuck, yo. But the others, he said in my, wrong words.
and the other, wait, go through and groan, go through the city after him and strike. Do not let your eye have pity. Do not spare. Utterly slay old men, young men, maidens, little dudes, and women, but do not touch any man who missed the mark, and you shall start from my sanctuary. So they started with the elders who were before the temple. And he said to them,
Defiles the temple and fill the courts with the slain. Go out! Get away from me.
okay. Thus they went and struck down the people in the city. Then it came about as they were striking, I alone was left. I did the face thing and cried out, saying, what did I say? What did I say? Alas, Lord God, art thou destroying everybody by pouring out thy wrath on Jerusalem? Why? Why? You know these people are bad. Moses did this shit too. And so did Abe, begging for these people to be okay. And God's like, I'm going to get rid of these people. And then somebody's always like, yeah, but why though? Some of them should stay, right? So, I know these people are terrible and everything, but, put their sin on me. I know you're my bestie and everything, but I'll gladly go to hell for these terrible ass people who treat me like shit. But okay. Da, 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 da. Then he said to me,
what I say? The iniquity of these terrible ass people is very, very great, and the land is filled with blood, and the city is full of perversion. For they say, the Lord has forsaken the land, and the Lord does not see. These lying ass motherfuckers. But as for me, my eye will have no pity, nor shall I spare, but I shall bring their conduct upon their heads. Can't do it soon enough. Then, behold, the man clothed in linen, whose loins was as a writing case. What? I don't know.
okay. Da, 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 da. Okay. And whose loins was written, reported, saying,
I have done just as you commanded. At the end of that chapter.
okay. That's the end of, oh, it's bedtime. That's what that alarm is saying, it's bedtime. Yep, bedtime. Okay, well, we only did 30 minutes. Maybe, um, okay, we could do chapter 10. You want to do chapter 10? We can hit this full and do chapter 10. What does everybody think? There's people watching. What do you think? My meds are kicking in. So we could do another chapter if you want to. Neil, did you leave? It was my bedtime 46 minutes ago. Man, well, I appreciate you for coming. Do so I'm guessing you can't do chapter 10. Well, I'll do chapter 10 to give you extra, listening time in the morning if you want. Well, actually, it's usually an hour anyway. But we could do a few minutes. But if you gotta go to bed, then go to bed. I'll do chapter 10, and after chapter 10, I'll go ahead and go to bed. My meds are kicking in. I really should change my time because I got to take these meds. It should start it at like 9:30. I think I might start doing it. Yeah, I should get some sleep. Yeah, because I have been emotionally drained a lot this week. A lot of things have happened. Well, I guess for the past 3 weeks, it's been kind of shitty. Mm. All right, we'll go ahead and end it because my meds are kicking in and it's not really fair for me to be yawning every 5 fucking minutes. I know as soon as I lay down, I won't be tired anymore, which is fucking funny. Yes, it is time to give the pillows some head and the sheets some ass and have the sweetest dreams ever. I love you guys so much. Hitting the outro. I think I'm hitting the outro. Now I'm hitting it. Goodbye. Love you, Neil.